I really like that narcissistic personality disorder lady because she breaks this stuff down to the root, like it's a class, like it's a job that you need to be taking notes on. And the fact that these people are individuals, let me turn this down because I might post this. And I have to post something. I've been making so many videos, but I haven't posted anything. So I'm gonna post this. And what narcissists are doing are narcissists are banking on you not knowing about them. Because like I said, they don't talk about narcissistic personality disorder enough in the mental health field because there's a lot of people that are narcissistic, and chances are they are probably narcissistic they damn self. I'm telling you no lie. I'm not lying to you. There's chances if a person, they're 9 times out of 10, if a person had a rough childhood, a traumatic childhood, or they went through a lot of stuff between the ages of 1 through 10 years old, and maybe up to 11, they have narcissistic personality disorder. It's only a couple of people, and then there's those people that's like me that have borderline personality disorder. I suffer with borderline personality disorder, which means that I was almost a narcissist, but I just didn't make the team. And I have narcissistic personality traits, but I didn't make the team, you know? So at the end of the day, that's a team that I didn't want to make anyway, because having narcissistic personality disorder is not good for, not only is it not good for you, for the people that you interact with, but it's also not good for you because a lot of people that end up with no narcissistic personality disorder, they always end up in jail. They always end up in bad situations. They can't keep anything going for a long period of time. They usually end up on drugs. They usually end up just having a really, really messy life because it's like they're not fully present in things. They're not fully present in life. It's a lot of dissociative disorder that's involved with that. A lot of I'm living my life, but then again I'm not really living my life I'm not present. You know, I'm not fully present. They just kind of go through the motions. They get up every day and do what they seen people do, or what they seen their parents do, or what they seen other people do. They don't have their own personality. You know, whenever you ever had that friend, I had a friend in high school where it was starting to get creepy. Like the girl just, I understand biting, but she would bite my whole style. Like, you know, I'll come to school with my hair done one way. The next day she'll have her hair done the same damn way. And you know, as a teenager, it's cute. You want to dress like your friends. Y'all want to coordinate and match, and all of those things like that. But then sometimes it starts to get like weird, and you're just kind of like, okay, you're doing too much. You know, it was just very Mr. Me Too-y, like Pharrell said, you know, very Mr. Me Too. And it was just kind of like, you know, that Pharrell song, Me Too, Me Too, Me Too. And it's funny because how they do these things in the public. They drop these little hints and stuff like that in the media, because a lot of those people that work in the media, a lot of those actors and actresses, a lot of famous people, they're narcissists. They're narcissists too, you know. And I feel like when I was going through mental health counseling as a teenager, I feel like she could have saved me a lot of money and time if she would have just told me that the people that I was dealing with suffer from narcissistic personality disorder. I mean, based on the things that I told her about them, the personality traits that they held. If she would have just told me from the beginning these people were narcissists, I would have been able to open my eyes about the situation earlier on in life, and I would have been able to avoid having so many narcissists in my life, because I would have knew what to look for and what to stay away from, you know. But the thing about narcissistic personality disorder, and the reason why I talk about it so much, is because that is the Jezebel spirit. When we talk about it in the spiritual field, it's Jezebel spirit. These people who watch you constantly because they're watching you, because they're mimicking you, they're mocking you, they're trying to understand how to be you and embody you for real, you know. And it's hard for us people who, the small amount of people, very, 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 very small amount of people, is definitely like I Am Legend. You know, it's a small amount of people who aren't like that. I mean, it's a very, very, because life has beat up on majority of people. And when you come out of life without being a narcissist, basically it's just like you survived a war without ended up shell shocked, you know? And most people that go to war, they end up shell shocked. They end up with some kind of PTSD, something like that. So if you come out of this this war, and you don't end up with any kind of chip on your shoulder, grudges against people, bitterness against people, holding animosity towards people, or just pity for yourself. It's a lot of self-pity. It's a lot of woe is me. You know, this stuff happened to me, so I don't care if it happens to somebody else type of vibe that these people give off, you know. These things happen to me, so I don't really give a damn if it happens to anybody else, because this happened to me. And they carry that same attitude when it comes to their children, you know. So it's just kind of like, well, I was molested as a child, so I don't really care if you're molested as a child. I was raped as a child. I don't care if you're raped as a child. I was poor as a child. I don't care if you're poor as a child, you know. So they really, 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 really don't care to see anybody else doing good because of all the suffering that they went through, you know. And they feel like, because I suffer, you must suffer too. And if you don't suffer too, then forget about you. I don't like you, because how dare you have a better life than me, you know. They very much blame everybody else but themselves. And a lot of the situations that they find themselves in, they really can't blame nobody else but themselves. This is based on decisions that they made and the choices that they made in life. But that's the Jezebel spirit. And, you know, I just came to the conclusion that that's the reason why they attack your frontal lobe, because the narcissists depend on you not understanding them. Because like I told you, not many people know about narcissistic personality disorder. These people will talk about any kind of, you can't even call somebody a narcissist in the courtroom without having them have been tested or something like that. People don't even like for you to talk about narcissistic personality disorder in public or in the business field, because most of the people that's in these fields are narcissists too. You know what I mean? Because if they was to sit there and really compare their personality traits to the personality traits that make you a narcissist, and I'm not talking about, liking yourself and loving yourself and, you know, being attracted to yourself, because I'm that too. You know what I mean? But it's just having this idea of superiority, or feeling like everybody else is beneath you, or feeling like you're supposed to be able to god over people, and then you didn't even do anything to deserve that. Just like Snoop Dogg said, honey, you gotta pay the cost to be the boss. And these people never paid no cost to be the boss, but they still feel like they supposed to just be in charge and be the boss over you, when in reality they ain't do anything to get that kind of credibility or that kind of rank. Like, nothing in their life says I should be in charge. Nothing in their life says that I should be ruling over nobody else. A lot of them don't even have the credibility to rule over no children, but they still want to rule over you, even though they haven't did anything to deserve that kind of treatment. You know what I'm saying? They haven't did anything to deserve that kind of treatment. So they bank on you not knowing who they are. Now they bank on you going out there dating and not realizing those personality traits. And a lot of the people that work in these fields who consistently keep a job and they keep a certain kind of lifestyle, they're worse than the people that whose life is just a complete mess, because they are secret narcissists. There's something called covert narcissists. Covert narcissists is like Norman Bates. They're scary as crap. You'd be afraid of covert narcissists. The ones that you think, oh, well, she keeps consistent, or he keeps a consistent job, or he's always at work, and oh, they're the scary ones. You have less of a problem with the ones that are just outright with it, the ones who will just show you, let they freak flag fly, and those ones are more easy to be trusted. The ones that keep it a secret, the ones who don't try to tell nobody, the ones who try to keep a uniform life and try to keep they narcissist flag to themselves and they keep it hidden. Oh, they are even scarier than the darn ones that actually just be flat out with it, because you can see the flat out ones coming. The covert ones, you actually find yourself spending time and years with them, unpacking that before you know it. You realize that you just had most of your life with a freaking sociopath. So at the end of the day, they bank on you not knowing. They bank on you not understanding, because when you can't understand something, you can't get away from it. That's they're big on keeping you confused, keeping you gaslit, keeping you saying, well, is he or isn't he? Is that the case? Is that not the case? Because once you get your mind wrapped around something, you can then move forward to doing something about it. You know what I mean? But they keep you with the, oh my God, not knowing. And that's the reason why they keep attacking your mind. They keep attacking your frontal lobe. Most people realize that they came into their epiphanies in life. That's the reason why I be saying don't give people testing under the age of 25 too much. Always try to have grace with them and try to be patient with them. And then I'm preaching to myself with that, because my daughter's 13 and sometimes she don't get things. I just want to be like, why don't you understand this stuff? The whole front of her brain is not fully developed yet, so but once you come to you get a frontal lobe, that's your no button. That's your knowledge button. That's instead of you calling it a third eye, you need to call it a knowledge eye, because that's when you start coming into the knowing of things, and it's like you wake up and life is just like, oh my God, now all of a sudden everything makes sense. The truth is in the front of your brain. All of that is right there in your middle of your forehead, or wherever they claim it's at. I think it's on the top of your head. Hell, I don't really know. I'm not a neurologist. But that's the reason why they keep attacking your brain. They keep attacking your mind, because they still want you to kind of be like, well, I think these people are crazy, but I'm not sure. Once you know somebody is crazy, it's time to get the hell on. And then on top of that, you don't even treat them the same. You don't even pay them no attention. You can just X them out the box. You don't let them have too much of your emotions. You understand what I'm saying? You don't let them affect you too much, because you write them off as, oh, that was crazy. Once you start writing the person off as, oh, they crazy, and you start getting dismissive towards the person, you're good. But see, they don't want you to be dismissive towards them. They don't want you to fully understand who they are, because they still want you to dibble and dabble and deal with them, So when they meet people like me, it's like, we have one that can see. You ever seen that movie that they live? It's not even to me, it's about like narcissists and non-narcissists. And shit, like I said, the reptilian people are basically just the narcissists. So when they say we got somebody that can see, that They Live movie, when they say we got one that can see, basically they say we have one that can see through people. We have one that can see that we're really psychotic. And as I'm saying, majority of your actors, actresses, music people, and people that are in the media, people that are on the news, police officers, people that are in the justice system, they are narcissists. They're covert narcissists, because they're able to keep a mask on, and they're not used to, so you can and they're able to maintain a decent lifestyle. So they're covert narcissists, which I told you before. I told you how I felt about them covert narcissists. Okay, I told you how I felt about covert narcissists. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But anyway, they bank on you not being aware of their craziness, so they can gaslight you and keep you wondering what's going on. And for example, just to make an example, like you see how Tyson and them would play the noodle game, and how they would just hit you in your head And then as soon as they hit you in your head, they'll walk up to you and stand around you singing and looking at you all crazy. And it gets scarier because they just sitting around you looking at you all crazy. That's how narcissists want to keep you. They want to keep you off kilter. They want to keep you, oh my God, whose is it? Guessing. They want to keep you off balance because that's how they're able to do the things they do to you. They don't want you to be dismissive of them. They don't want you to write them off as crazy and not pay them any attention because they are energy vampires as well and they need your attention in order for them to do the stuff they're doing and for it to be effective. They need you to pay attention to them and they need you to be emotionally invested in them, because once you're no longer emotionally invested in them, none of this shit works, so when you just get to a point where you know what you're dealing with, you're dealing with crazy, you understand that these are out of their biscuit, even the ones who you probably find ones that are nice and sweet and kind, and you find ones that are quiet, and you're like, oh my God, it can't be her, it can't be him. Yes, it's her and him too. They're just covert. And I told you how I felt about the covert ones. I told you how I felt about the covert ones. So you don't need to emotionally invest yourself. You don't need to emotionally invest yourself in these people. They'll copy you. They'll say words that you say. They'll mirror you. They'll the clothes you wear, the colors you wear. They'll mirror you. They don't have a soul. They're going through the motions. They're getting up. They're going through the motions. They don't know who they are. And I think people really underestimate how important it is to know who you are. Like, to have an identity crisis is crazy. To have to wake up every day and look at yourself and not know who you are. When somebody asks you, well, what can you tell me about yourself? And most people can't answer those questions. You know what I mean? When somebody asks you, what can you tell me about yourself? Who are you? And a person go, especially when they're over the age of 25. Like I said, when you're under the age of 25, pretty much everybody's a narcissist at that age because their frontal lobe is not developed. When you're over the age of 25 and you're like 30 plus, and somebody asks you, what can you tell me about yourself? And you have nothing to say, and you get to going, be afraid of those kind of people. Run the hell away from them. If they can't just automatically start telling you things about like little bullet points about themselves, people are psychopaths. People are psychopaths, and they get mad at you. They get mad at people like me because people like me know that they're psychopaths, and they done spent all this money. They done did all this work. They done spent their whole life trying to hide. They not trying to let their freak flag fly. And when you are aware of their freak flag and you know they crazy, they hate you. Because the cat is out the bag. The secret is out. The secret is out. When you know about them, they hate you. They want to get rid of you. They want to demolish you. They trying to keep they trying to keep the fact that they're actually a soulless being, an individual who's just out here with no real personality, no real life, and their whole life goal is to find different people to attack and get supply from, because that's how they continue to feel human. They have to be connected to a human in some kind of way, form, or fashion in order for them to feel human. They don't feel human if they're not around other people. That's why a lot of them can't stay out of relationships. They can't stay single for 5 seconds. They can't stay by themselves. You'll usually find them with a roommate, grown as hell with a roommate. They gotta be around up under somebody. They gotta feel like they want to feel something. Like that Chris Brown song, I want to feel something. Like they feel numb inside. They don't have anything going for themselves. They need somebody to spark feelings in them, or else they just have nothing. And usually children don't do it for them because children aren't good enough. That's not enough supply for them. They like good juicy supply. They like good interested supply. That's why they like chosen ones, because we're usually like very layered people. Like Shrek said on the movie, he said, I'm like an onion. You pull back the layers. They like those kind of people because the more interested a person you are, the more supply they get from you, the more energy they get from you, the more you keep them entertained. And a lot of them suffer with ADHD too. And they can't stay still. They can't lay still. They can't be at peace. They're always doing something. You ever had you ever had the people that you got high with, and instead of getting high and lazy, they started getting up and cleaning up and moving around. You're like, what the hell kind of person get high and then start doing stuff? Like, they are those kind of people. They just always got to be doing something because they suffer from ADHD too. Like, so they need to stay busy. They need to stay. And usually they don't have, like, most people say, okay, if I like being busy, I'll go to the gym. I'll work out, not be fat, right? or if I like to stay busy, I'll go get a job. If I like to stay busy, I'll go pick up a hobby. And a lot of people would bother this lady about her hobby, and at least she got a hobby. You know what I mean? At least she got something that she's interested in. She ain't fucking with nobody else. She ain't bothering nobody because she collect the little doll babies, but then they try to, oh, well, that's weird. Well, at least she ain't getting on nobody's damn nerves. You know what I mean? At least she found something to do with herself, whatever the case, whatever it may be. It may be weird to you, but at least she got a hobby. She ain't harassing no damn body, but a lot of them, their hobby is irritating people. That's what keeps them busy. And they got to be irritating somebody or something at some point in time, all the time. And that's the reason why I tell people when it comes to narcissists, don't ever think they're just doing it to you. Don't ever think they're just harassing you. Don't ever think they're just being mean to you because they have ADHD. So if you're not around to give them narcissistic supply, they're going to be getting it from somebody else at some point in time. That's the reason why if you break up with a narcissist, there's no reason for you to be concerned about them going on and living happily ever after with nobody and settling down and having no good, decent relationship with a person, because they have to be doing something irritating at all times because they suffer from ADHD. So they have to be harassing somebody. They have to be bothering somebody at all times. So believe me that their next relationship is more than likely going to end just like y'all's did. So it ain't going to work out because they're narcissistic and they're freaking psychotic. So that's my spill on that. What I'm saying is build up your mind and get your mind together, because once you start knowing who these people are and you can see who they are, you can avoid these individuals at all costs. Keep conversations short and sweet and straight to the point. Don't try to befriend these people outside of wherever. If you work with them, don't try to make them your friend from work. Stay away from them. Holler at them at their job and leave it right then and there. Don't try to bring these people into your house, into your world, around your children. They need Jesus, okay? Only the good Lord can help that kind of crazy, okay? And if you look it up, it's a personality disorder that cannot be healed. They have no medication for it. It's just something that you have to go to therapy for the rest of your entire life. So like I said, only the good Lord can help you with that kind of crazy stuff. Okay, and then most of them don't even believe in God because they think they're God. So they asked out. Just stay away from them and keep it pushing, period.